For a brief time in entertainment history, vampires were all the rage. Buffy, Twilight, and True Blood proved that audiences thirsted for vampire-human romance. So the CW capitalized on that craze with its adaptation of L.J. Smith's The Vampire Diaries novels. The series, which immediately claimed its own audience, became a major hit for the network. But it wasn't all sunshine, rings, and crows for this show. Here's the story you might not know about The Vampire Diaries. Creative differences. Kevin Williamson, a beacon of the teen scene thanks to Scream and Dawson's Creek, initially snubbed the idea of The Vampire Diaries. The writer-producer admitted his fear to The Independent, saying he didn't want fans to see it as a Twilight ripoff, no matter which novel series came first. Due to the ultra-similar premises, a small-town girl falls for impossibly handsome boy who just so happens to be a secret vampire, and she kind of digs his undeadness. It was co-creator Julie Plec who changed his mind about that, though, and convinced him to check out Smith's novels before giving it a hard pass. She explained, "I began to realize that it was a story about a small town, about that town's underbelly, and about what lurks under the surface." Williamson responded to the central character's struggle with grief from the loss of her parents, and that there was a sense of hopelessness about her situation that could really resonate with the Dawson's Creek crowd. That dramatic distinction was ultimately enough for him to put his stamp on the effort. Casting sliding doors. Nina Dobrev made a household name for herself by becoming Elena Gilbert, then Catherine Pierce, then the third doppelganger, Amara. But she almost wasn't the face of the series. The network's first choice for the role was actually singer-actress Ashley Simpson. Yep. Dobrev only won the role after producers gave her audition a second look and determined that she was a better fit. And before Ian Somerhalder earned his nickname Ian Smolderholder for his work as steely-eyed Damon Salvatore, future co-stars Paul Wesley, Zach Rohrig, and Michael Trevino were all amongst those who tried out for the role too. They eventually earned their own memorable and long-lived characters on the series, of course, but Somerhalder as Damon is show canon, so it's hard to imagine any of them in his place. Bubble, Bubble, Toil and Trouble. The pilot for The Vampire Diaries was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia, where the Twilight Saga films were shot. However, the rest of production took place down in Covington, Georgia, and it was there that the cast found themselves in a little bit of a legal snare shortly after the series premiered. Just a day after the pilot hit the small screen, several of the series' cast members, including Nina Dobrev, Candice Accola, Kayla Ewell, and Sarah Canning, were reportedly arrested for naughtily distracting drivers on a freeway during a photo shoot with photographer Tyler Shields.
No comment. I'm not going to say anything.
Although reports initially indicated that they may have been flashing traffic as well, Ewell later denied that's what went down during the incident, and the first season ratings remained strong despite the hubbub. Delayed spin-off. Due to the initial success of The Vampire Diaries, the CW began to entertain the idea of a spin-off series right away, settling on a fall 2011 date as the hopeful premiere window. Williamson, who'd previously planned doing a college campus-set paranormal investigations sister series, became involved with his now defunct The Secret Circle instead of moving forward with the follow-up idea. So those plans were postponed until Plec picked up the torch and carried forward with her idea for The Originals, which carried over several of The Vampire Diaries' own secondary characters as a companion series and aired in October 2013. Real-life relationship drama. It's not uncommon for a show that involves so much physical and emotional passion to transpire into some unexpected off-screen romance. But with The Vampire Diaries, there have been an unusual amount of real-life couplings to happen amidst its cast, for better or worse. Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder, for one, proved that their on-screen chemistry as the ultra-shippable Delena duo was inspired by some real-life heat between the actors. It was all well and good for a while between the two, but when they broke up in real life and had to continue doing love scenes, things got tricky.
And then we started dating on the show.
We started dating in real life.
And then we broke up in real life.
And yet our characters are still dating on the show.
It's a good thing it's not awkward.
After Somerhalder married Dobrev's former friend Nikki Reed, it wasn't long till Dobrev announced her departure from the series. They've since quashed any rumors of lingering bad blood, but the show's final season suffered without her presence. Theirs wasn't the only cast coupling to go south while the cameras were still rolling. Paul Wesley's real-life wife, Tori DeVito, also joined the cast in a recurring role before the two split, leading to her character counterpart suddenly taking her leave of Mystic Falls. After their separation, he began to date the show's guest actress Phoebe Tonkin, who starred in its sister program, The Originals. And after an on and off relationship of 4 years, those two called it quits for good in October of 2017. Meanwhile, Candace Accola and Zach Rohrig were once an item for a brief period of time early on in the series, although they've both since moved on. And actor Joseph Morgan also found love on the set of the show with actress Perja White, who had a brief recurring role in the show, and the two married in 2014. Off-screen parallels. Budding and busted romances weren't the only true-life takeaways from the show. When Candace Accola got pregnant with her first child with guitarist Joe King, the show also wrote in her on-screen surrogate pregnancy to explain her growing baby bump. There was also a fire at the real-life set of the Mystic Grill, which was a little spooky considering the show had previously torched its fictional version of the setting the season before. The Somerhalder shutdown. Ian Somerhalder accidentally preempted the show's end date announcement when he told reporters that the Vampire Diaries' 8th season would be its final run. Seeing as the network hadn't confirmed the same at the time, the actor had to eat his words a little bit and backtrack to say that he was merely speaking for himself. Ultimately, though, the showrunners confirmed the same with the news that Season 8 would indeed be the final stand for the Vampire Diaries, and it came to a close in early 2017. Thanks for watching. Click the Nikki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.